Hello everyone, it's Miss Silbernagel again. Hope you're having a really good day. Today we're going to start talking about SDL, what that is and what that looks like. So, as always in Summit, we're going to look at the Year tab. Your Year tab is the thing that really shows you everything that you need to do for the entire year. Don't get caught up on that though, because we only have a few things that we need to worry about day in and day out. So I'm going to scroll down to your language arts class. And we're going to take a look at the Power Focus Area section. So the first thing that we need to work on, the first thing that's really due for us is on September 22nd, and that's the Reading Strategy 6. So if you don't finish the assignment and you don't take the test by September 22nd, this guy, this little tab right here that says Reading Strategy 6, that will turn red. When you take the test and you pass it, that will turn green. This whole section will either be red, blue, or green. Blue means in the works. Red means you need to get it done. Green means you're good. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. The first thing that I'm going to notice is the diagnostic test. The diagnostic test is usually anywhere between 4 and 8 questions. It is not for a grade. It is the very first thing that you'll do before you start working on Reading Strategy 6 or any Power Focus area. It'll tell you what objectives you need to spend most of your time on. So if I click start, it'll take me to a little quiz and it'll tell me right away after I hit submit, it'll tell me what my grade is. So you are going to end up doing that either today or tomorrow, depending on your time. So after you finish your diagnostic quiz, I'm going to go ahead and look at Objective 1. So for Objective 1, it says that you're going to define and give examples for the following terms. I'm going to go ahead and click on that arrow. There are a lot of resources here. So objectives are like the big ideas. The resources are the smaller things that teach you about what they are. So if I were to click on any one of these, all about reading strategies, this is a note-taking page that'll give you some key terms and definitions. So in your notebook, you could take notes on this, or in Google Classroom, you could even copy and paste some things over. It depends on how you want to set up your notebook. We'll get there in just a second. All right, so sometimes it is a resource like that, or sometimes it's a video. Just depends on what you like and what you would like to do. So after that video loads and you watched it, you would actually end up scrolling down. There it is. You guys would actually end up scrolling down after you take notes on all of those things. You would scroll down to Objective 2. Objective 2 is identify appropriate strategies to use in a text. So I'd click on that, and so that's my objective. And then the resources, again, are the smaller things that teach you about the objective. So the resources right here, there's a video, there's some practices there, and here's a thing that's called Check for Understanding. When you open that up, it might look a little confusing because it kind of looks like a test. It's not necessarily a test. A check for understanding is a really good way for you guys to go through and see if you actually know the material before you take the content assessment or the little quiz at the end. So usually it's some kind of back and forth, like there's a way for you to look through this PowerPoint and it asks you questions as it goes. At the very, very end of Check for Understandings, it gives you the answer key. So you can take the quiz or answer the practice questions, and then it'll give you the answers, and you just take it and see if you got it right. So those are things that we require in language arts. You do need to take those Check for Understandings just as like a practice test or a practice quiz. All right, so then once you finish all of your notes on Objective 1 and then Objective 2, you'll go ahead and hit Content Assessment. You'll hit that Request button right there. What that does is it sends an email to your teacher saying, hey, I'm ready to take this quiz. Can I take it? So the teachers have to approve that pretty quickly within the time that you request it. So please be ready to take those tests as soon as you take them. There are 2 things that you need to do for me before you actually take the test. You can hit the request button, but you also need to submit your notes. Either send me an email with a picture of the handwritten notes that you did, or you can turn in your notes on Google Classroom. It depends on how you want to take those notes and how you want to show us how you have learned the material. So please make sure that you get that done. All right, so that is how SDL works. Let me show you really quickly a sample notebook, and I'll have this posted up on Google Classroom as well. All right, let me pull that open. All right, so here is my example handwritten SDL notebook. Do you like my picture on there? So cute. All right, so my section that I was working on was reading strategy 6. We'll skip that page. That's in person. So reading strategy 6. I always label everything on objective 1. I label it objective 1 so I know what I'm working on. Then off to the side over here, just to keep me organized, I write the resource that it was given. So the first one says all about reading strategies. There I go ahead and put any key terms and any definitions that I need. Then on the next page, it's the next resource. So here I'm talking about how to use textual evidence. I'm still working on reading strategy 6, and I'm still working on objective 1. I'm really, really organized with how I keep track of my SDL notebook. So I said it was a video. Here are the things that it talks about. It talks about inferences. It talks about textual evidence. So I have all of that stuff written down. I keep going with this, and I'll post this up so that way you guys have access to an example SDL notebook. So this is handwritten. You could also do it on Google Classroom. That's another video for another time. I'll see you guys here in a little bit.